So I'm going to do a quick kind of review video here on this brand of protective shell for your Switch Pro controller. This is the Dobie brand. There's one or two of these things on the market that are these clear plastic shells to go over your Nintendo Switch for protection. And they're pretty much all from China or some Eastern Asian country. I think this one, I want to say I got this one from Walmart. The Dobie brand seems to be for sale from Walmart. It's probably a reseller. I couldn't find this brand somewhere else. There's a couple like Tenmu ones and Alibaba and AliExpress ones out there, but basically, yeah. The problem that I have for some reason, with the Switch Pro controller is that it really messes my hands up. I have really bad arthritis in my hands and carpal tunnel, and I love the Switch Pro controller, but it just kills my hands and wrists to use it. I have other controllers, more premium controllers with back buttons and all this stuff, but I like to do a lot of emulation, and I kind of find that the Switch Pro controller is sort of the best option for emulation. It's a very kind of basic product. It's got these little tabs. You can kind of see one right there, one right there. There's a couple over here, and then on the bottom. And it's obviously a perfect fit for this controller. So you simply just drop it in to the shell, put the back on first, put the top on, and then you just press fit all these little tabs down, and it creates this kind of like perfect shell that fits around your Switch Pro controller, and it probably does a decent job of avoiding impact damage. It's pretty hard. It is hard plastic. It's completely clear, but it should do a pretty good job of dropping it. If you were to drop it on this hard plastic, I think it would effectively protect your controller. The thing it doesn't do is it's not going to protect your buttons or your joysticks. Not really, as far as I know, anything on the market that's going to do that. I actually bought this and another one here I'll show, because I'm trying to kind of give the controller more girth. So I actually swapped the grips out and tried some third-party grips and things like that to make the controller a little more stocky, because my Xbox Series X controller, the premium edition one I have, I don't even remember who it's by, never causes me hand pain. But for some reason, the Switch Pro controller does, and I think it's because these grips are far skinnier, and the Xbox grips are a lot thicker. I said, well, how can I make it thicker? Well, I tried to get new grips. That didn't really change the thickness. I was going to have new grips 3D printed, but tons of issues with that. And then I kind of stumbled across these, and I've tried the rubber cases too. Wasn't a fan. These things are wicked cheap. So the nice thing about these is they're like $10. I think this is like $7 from the Walmart reseller. And I haven't done a ton of testing with this one yet. I think this is going to be the one that I keep or use on a daily basis because it has these nice big cutouts. One of the things I like about the Switch Pro controller is that the sticks are really light and they have really good travel. And the D-pad is firm. I like a firm D-pad, right? And when you have this big cutout, you don't have to worry about any of the buttons getting messed up, right? So I'll show you. I'm not going to actually put it onto this thing because it's a nightmare to get it on and off. This one's not so bad. So this is the other version that I bought. Pretty much the same price, $5-10. It has cutouts, but it has individual cutouts for the sticks and the D-pad and the buttons, and you can kind of see it here. It has a lip right here, so it actually curves up. You can see that. And what that does is it catches on the thumbsticks. They're too close and they're too raised, and it actually shortens the distance that you can press the thumbsticks on the outer edge, and so you would theoretically need a dead zone. I've done the gamepad testing, and it does not reach the outer dead zone. It does not get to 100%. The D-pad also, because this has like such an odd cutout on it, it actually is almost flush with this, and it makes the D-pad very difficult to press because you can't reach down enough to press it. You know, on the stock controller, you know, the D-pad actually sits out of the shell pretty well, but here, because you have this extra meat on it, basically, your D-pad is out like almost flush with this, and it just makes it unnecessarily difficult to press the D-pad. The face buttons are fine. I don't have a problem with the face buttons or the start and select. Those are all inset anyways, but it's not that big of a deal. And the triggers are good too on both of them. No issues with the triggers. The problem with this one, and I'll put the brand on the screen. I can't even remember what the brand is because it's such a knockoff, so that you don't buy it. The biggest problem with this one outside of that is that it uses the exact same clips, and for some reason when it's clipped it has this brutally sharp edge. These controller seams, or these shell seams I should say, are really sharp, and you can kind of see it here. I actually have to sandpaper down the seam because one of the things that hurts my hands is a sharp seam on a controller. And so I literally took sandpaper, and for like probably a half an hour I sanded down both sides of this controller because they were such sharp seams. And if you were to hold this in your hand right now, I did not sandpaper down the inside, and you can kind of hear that it's got a lip. I mean, even that's completely closed, right? You can hear my nail scraping both ways, right? If you were to come over here, which is now closed, there's a little bit of an edge, but it's not that bad. It's very sharp, and it's really poor quality control. And then for some reason this one is really difficult to get off. These clips do not like being unclipped. They're very basic. They're not like regular controller clips, and so they hang on for dear life. So I would not recommend this one. Like I said, I'll put the brand in there so that you don't buy it. But this one actually seems really nice. It does not have a seam on it, so I don't even know. It sounds like there's a seam here, but it is microscopic. Here you go. You almost can't hear it, right? So that's that one. Then you compare it to this one. Not fun. So this one doesn't really have a seam at all. It doesn't have a seam issue, which is great. You don't have to worry about the thumbsticks getting caught, because the cutouts are wide enough that the thumbsticks, and same with the D-pad, they don't get caught on the actual shell itself. The only other thing I would say that I don't like, and I think it's safe to say for both of these, you don't realize how much palm sweat your regular controller will soak up, but this plastic shell completely stops your controller product from being porous and absorbing any hand sweat. And I find with this, both of these, your hands get sweaty, and they get sweaty really fast. It's like waterproof, practically, almost. No sweat will be absorbed. So if you have really sweaty hands, you might want to go with a rubber grip instead. Those are actually meant to help people with sweaty hands get a better grip. This is for people who want a thicker Switch controller or who are very drop prone. I think a child would do very well with this because they could kind of throw it around a little bit more and not have to worry about breaking it. But yeah, I'm super excited to test this out. Hopefully I can actually use the Switch controller, because I've been trying to find a comfortable solution for it for a year, 6 months to a year. Hopefully this is it. So I hope you enjoyed this quick review of the Dolby protective shell for the Nintendo Switch. And let me know what you think if you have one of these guys or have any interest. I have not seen them like anywhere on YouTube for review, so let me know your thoughts. Thanks.